All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Dark Dungeon of Pop Culture. We got the Jabba's Dungeon podcast today with, as always, Tyler, Avery, Chad, and myself. The sickness pulled a 50 Cent on us, shot us a couple times, but we're still breathing. So many men, many men wish death upon me, but here we are. Um, we are, you know, coming here a little wounded, a little hurt, but we have came back to talk upon Hell's Kitchen's Daredevil. We watched last week Daredevil from 2003, and then we have, in more recent news, Daredevil Born Again. So, that amongst many other things, I say we can get into Daredevil 2003. So you have Spider-Man in 2002, and it made bank. So they're like, you know what? Daredevil, Ben Affleck, that's gonna be like the same kind of deal right there.
Top
And
10 Marvel movies for sure.
didn't did Kevin Smith, did he have like any writing, or I think he like produced, did he not, on this?
Oh, did he? Shit, I know he had a Daredevil comic run back in the day, but I didn't know if he was a part of this.
Well, I know he cameoed, and I guess he didn't, but irregardless, Kevin Feige, before the MCU shit, he had his name attached to this. So, we got Ben Affleck and his glorious butt chin
As Batman.
as
Batman.
I mean, that Daredevil. Um, Honestly, whenever they first panned up and they showed him, and he was like kind of like recreating that one like kind of like cover that they have where he's like kind of like grasping the cross. Actually, was pretty sick. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Very surprising, but it did have like that good level of like 2000s kind of like schlock.
Lots of schlock.
Made by the same dude who made Ghost Rider with Nick Cage.
Every time I think of this movie, I just think about Deadpool versus Wolverine and like what could have been him like walking out, and then I would have jizzed everywhere, and so,
It's just, I don't know. I mean, for what it was, I mean, I'm surprised that I didn't hate Ben Affleck as much. You get the dude that was Hector in Breaking Bad, and you had Kane Hodder in it. Kane Hodder was his bodyguard. One thing I fucking hate, I put it in my review, I hate his stupid water coffin. His like he
Mm,
sleeps in the water and like the steel coffin.
gotta get that sound away.
Do you think his ears are like always like, I feel like that's a good way to like not only be blind but deaf because you're gonna have swimmer's ear.
Yeah, he's gonna always have an infection.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, like I would wear plugs or something, maybe. I don't know.
I forget what studio was behind the movie.
Fox was it not?
I can pull it up real quick.
If it's Fox, so they wouldn't give the X-Men comic accurate costumes, but they gave Daredevil a fairly
Suit's
a
pretty
more honest
good.
a better interpretation to the comics, honestly, than the Netflix.
It
Yeah,
was Fox.
Yeah,
Fox
pretty good
Universe.
suit. Yeah, pretty good suit. And whenever he like has that little like fight sequence in that bar against that guy who assaulted that woman. Honestly, pretty good fight scene. Um, you got like just an overload of like 2000s new metal, which is just like hilarious and incredible. Uh, you got Matt being an absolute perv and following Electra around. And I absolutely hated this whenever they like started having the duel in the park. And it's just like all the kids were surrounding. And it's like, take your pick. It's either a man beating up a woman or a woman beating up a blind man. So, take your pick.
That was the only part of the movie that I did not care for. Was the park scene.
Yeah, where they just are having like a random duel. Hey, but Electra, Jennifer Garner, Mother. You got Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P. as Kingpin, a really good Kingpin,
Yeah.
good iteration. You got like chaotic ass Colin Farrell as Bullseye. He kills a man with paper clips. And every time he puts his jacket on, you get like little sound effects of like rattlesnakes. You hear like very random. Love it. I love that he's still Irish in this. The church fight scene between Daredevil and Bullseye looks like a PS2 cutscene graphic.
I remember I was folding clothes when the fight scene's happening out in the road. Electra's dad is killed.
Mhm.
And I think Daredevil does a backflip at one point, and I was like standing like right next to the TV and was like, that literally looks like PlayStation 1.
What do you think? Ben Affleck's gonna do that shit?
Yeah.
Still better than Jeepers Creepers whenever he was like on wires. Just hey, but the last battle between Daredevil and Kingpin, pretty fucking good. Like I said, whenever Michael Clark Duncan takes off his jacket and he's just fucking absolutely yoked in the tank top and stuff, he just looks very Wilson Fisk, very beastly. And he like kicked him in his knees, and he was just like needed the fucking the Tom from Tom and Jerry scream. And I hated whenever Matt went back to his like little rooftop deal and he felt a little necklace and he went Braille. I was like, God, this kill me. But the Evanescence bring me back to life. That fucking goes hard as shit. Whenever it was just like him like cutting and it was like him like getting ready and Electra with the bags in her fucking ballerina room. God, where's that in the new Daredevil show? Where's the Evanescence?
For real, Born Again sucks compared to this movie.
Yeah,
For
where's
real.
the new metal?
Jeez. Corn.
Corn. Yeah, so yeah, any thoughts on Daredevil 2003? Are we I mean, for what it was, I mean, it's not awful. You can definitely tell that it was made by people that like were trying to give a fuck. It was just like more or less I've heard studio interference, but
I mean, I've heard that Ben Affleck only took the role because he never thought he'd have the opportunity to play Batman.
Wow, look at that. That's funny.
Nope.
That's fucking crazy.
Also, not big on Jon Favreau's version of Foggy. I feel like
no.
Jon Favreau just plays Jon Favreau and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Mm.
it's crazy that like Zack Snyder was probably like watching that movie one day and was like, I could see the vision of my Batman right there. Just let's get it going.
He just
The little-
pauses it and turns the saturation down and he's like, yeah, that's bad.
They were
It's like
easy.
I would have watched the kid as a movie, or the movie as a kid. I would have liked it a lot more than watching it now. That's
What
just hindsight.
age? What age do you think you would have to be?
Probably like 7 or 8.
7's the magic number.
Yeah, just somewhere in there. That's about the time that I started watching like the Toby Spider-Mans and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
So
he would have loved Gladiator whenever he was 7 and
yeah,
Daredevil.
It's
I just need to go back to 7 and just start again.
Yeah.
it's so weird, like, 'cause I do remember, like, back in the day when I was little, like, watching this movie,
Were you
and
7?
yeah, when I was, like, around the age, like, 7 and stuff. Just, like, the time, because yeah, like, watching Toby and all that, but then I specifically remember, like, I didn't remember it until you brought it up again, like, was the water aspect of him, like, doing that, and I remember back when I was little thinking, like, "That's fucking weird," but, like, eh, I don't know, it's, like, a weird choice for Matt.
Yeah, like whenever I was a kid, I don't even, it might have even been younger than 7. I remember I watched it. I had it on DVD. I'm kind of interested to see if it's still at my mom's house. Just 'cause I mean, it's kind of ass, but it's not like that terrible. Like
It
the picture that I have on my letterbox banner is actually a really cool shot whenever it's his mask sitting there and it's like kind of like I think it's the roses kind of like flowing beside it or something. Like there's actually a few cool ideas in it.
if this was the only live action Daredevil adaptation, I don't think it would be as bad
Okay.
to me. I would probably like it
Right.
a little bit more if it was the only version.
I mean, it would be kind of tragic if it was the only live action.
It would be tragic, but I wouldn't have anything to compare it to.
Exactly. And I mean, I feel like between this and like, I mean, it's crazy this guy just went 2 for 2 on some like schlocky Marvel 2000s movies because get inebriated, drink or do whatever you do, smoke ketamine, and watch Daredevil and or Ghost Rider. You're in for a good time.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, man, that was like a guilty pleasure of mine when I was younger. Not the second one, because that one's dog ass, but that first one, that first one hits different.
You got that one chick in it, the one that was like his love interest. That did numbers for me as a child. And
Or
bro, like, it was really weird because like anytime I see that, like now, my brain just can't process how jacked Nicolas Cage actually was for that role. Like he was actually like proper jacked.
mm,
Like I thought it was just gonna be like I always thought it was like some sort of special effects or something like that, or he was wearing like a muscle suit, but he was actually jacked, which is just like weird for his face because I feel like he just like has the body of just like your average
an old
male.
man.
Yeah. Like he's got a very old face. And like I even thought he looked kind of old to be playing Ghost Rider when he did.
Yeah, he does look like a middle-aged man when they're trying to. Like they're trying to represent like a young, angsty type dude, but he just shows up and you're just like, well, that's a like maybe 40s type dude.
But whenever they have him and the cowboy dude and they're riding
Yeah,
Sam
in the
Elliott.
desert.
Sam Elliott.
hmm
Yeah,
It
everybody
was
got
pretty hard.
like a raging boner, and then the guy turns back and he's like, "Well, that's it for me," and you're like, "Well, that is, fuck."
Yeah, he was good for like one ride. He was like, well, that's it for me. But in other news, you all have been watching Daredevil Born Again. I have been lacking, but if you all would like to talk on that,
Yeah, Daredevil Born Again. I'm kidding.
tell me all about it.
I'll let you guys do it. I mean, I just finished it, but I I will say I can't get over the fucking like beginning of the show, and I don't know if everyone wants to spoil for like Brandon, but
That's,
I
I mean, I don't
you don't care.
know. I'll watch maybe.
Have you avoided
Oh,
spoilers so far?
I think.
I don't.
Hmm.
is there like an interest for you that do you want to watch it?
I plan on watching it because you all have been talking about it, but I'm a man of the pod.
Like I don't know if I want to watch that shit. No.
I'd be down to watch it.
I definitely did not because I like the day before or because it released and I didn't watch it like straight the day one, and I kept seeing tweets like, "Oh my god, the first 15 minutes they done this already," and I was like, "What the fuck did they do?" Like what? I knew they said or released something where they're like the cast members were like, "We don't know how we feel about this," but it had to be done to some extent. So that was kind of like, oh well, this could be very good or very bad depending on how they do it. And I did not expect spoilers how hard Bullseye would fucking enter and just obliterate Foggy. I was like, holy fuck.
Aura farming.
Dude, it was as
Yeah.
soon as that shit happened, I was just like, I'm sucked in now. Like this is crazy. And the fight with them in the bar going up to the top of the building was fucking great. Like him just literally killing everybody he can within like the split second he could every time Daredevil was like throwing punches and shit was absolutely insane to me.
I love that the first thing like Bullseye said was just like "Hello, Karen," and then it just started like the whole thing.
Dude's a psycho, man. Like it, but I don't like even in the comics when I'm reading Daredevil, I never got that. Sorry, I never got like how much of a psycho he is uh until like that scene. I was like, well, this motherfucker just don't care. Like, and season 3, I still need to finish up Daredevil. So like I know there's a big chunk of Bullseye in that I'm missing out on. Um, but it was just I think that's what really sucked me into the show. Um, the rest of the
Have y'all
parts,
have y'all seen the like theories about like the numbers outside of the bar that they're at? I don't know if y'all seen it on TikTok or not, but
like
Yeah.
I saw where it was like a conspiracy of maybe Foggy to fake death or something.
yeah, because the comic book number they reference, I think Vanessa has Foggy's like death faked or something to try to get back to Matt, and mess
See
with him or something.
that
So
it's what also before I even like seen that theory, I thought it was extremely weird when Foggy said, "I didn't want to give you the excuse," and he said that to Matt before he went and like put on his Daredevil costume at the bar or something like
mhm.
that. And I was because they look at each other after when he says it, and it was kind of odd wording. So I was like, well, maybe it is true. Maybe he did fake his death to
I
make
was
a
thinking
point.
when he said that, he meant more like I, because he's got the one guy held up in his apartment, and Matt's like, "Why didn't you tell me this is going on?" I think he meant, at least the way I took it, was he didn't want to give Matt an excuse to be Daredevil
Mm.
in that moment, because they were out, having a good time. But
It's like it shows too. Like it's kind of like he can hide things if he really wanted
yeah,
to. So
Mhm.
I
and I've already seen that, Karen and Foggy are supposed to return for season 2 and play a bigger role.
mm,
So I'm thinking either A, they're going to go with he faked his death, or he might appear to him as like a vision, kind of like how Kingpin does a lot in season 3. To
I
me,
thought like kind of like flashback kind of things too, or something like that. So
it would be crazy if he faces fakes his death and like how many people died because of that.
mhm.
Like that's crazy if he really did fake his death. I mean, there were so many people that just was like in harm's way and literally just fucking died. Uh, and if that's the cause, that's definitely going to alter Matt and Foggy's relationship big time. I feel like.
uh,
Um,
I still can't get out the image of, so Matt hears Foggy's heartbeat stop, and that's just when he crashes out. And like, he's like yelling at Bullseye up there, and Bullseye's just like smirking at him and like gives him the little pat on the shoulder, like good game. and then he just
Yeah, that I didn't
and
expect him to just toss him out the fucking building.
when he smacked, my mouth literally just dropped, and I completely forgot about the whole the spine surgery he has at the end of season 3. In that moment, I was like, how's he gonna survive that? Because like you see him like twitching, and then it flashes to him in court a year later. I completely forgot about the spine, but I was still like in like shock, and I'm like, that to me makes sense of why he would want to put away the Daredevil persona.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
still debating because there was the whole issue where apparently they rewrote the show to include Karen and Foggy. Part of me does enjoy having them back, but also you get them for like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and then Foggy's dead, and Karen's like, I'm moving across the country. So I kind of wish it would have like, I told Chad like right before we watched the episode, I was like, I kind of wish they would have had that first full episode to introduce like new viewers to the whole group's dynamic, and you could still have Kingpin doing his
Mm,
startup to become mayor, and then have it happen at like the end of the episode. Because for a new viewer who's never watched the Netflix show, that would be like still traumatizing, but you're still kind of like thrown off like, why is Bullseye doing this?
yeah.
Who's Karen? Who's Foggy? But it was a great opening.
There was an article that I saw today. Not really like an article, but like I guess just like a phrasing that somebody said that I guess is like either a part of the production or somebody that just knows stuff inside. It was said that they were supposed to have episode 2 be the beginning, and it will lead into episode 3 instead of it being the way it was of like 1 and then 2. So I guess it would have started off at episode 2. Um, I'm not entirely sure how if that would be true or not, but
I mean, I'm sure they probably originally didn't want to have to carry over a lot of the Netflix cast. So I'm sure that they just went back and filmed that extra bit to kind of have a smoother transition. Because once you get to episode 2, honestly, the first episode doesn't have much context to the story except for Kingpin's
yeah.
portion. So
That John Bernthal Punisher project's gonna be cool.
He's already saying that it's going to be like worse than his previous work. Like I guess more darker.
It's supposed to be a movie as well, isn't it?
I think just like the straight to Disney Plus kind of like
Mm.
Howlwolf at Night
Okay.
was.
Ass.
I'm so hyped though for uh, the Daredevil. Yeah, I just had a brain fart. Punisher. What I think they're gonna go with in the show with the corrupt cops
Hmm.
having
Mm,
the Punisher logo tattooed on their wrist.
yeah.
I already know what they're gonna do, and that's gonna be fire.
It's so weird, like how it feels so exclusive with these characters. Like even when it comes to like figures and stuff as well, it's like you got Daredevil that he has like 3 seasons. Cancel comes back and now he has another season and it's going pretty good again. And then when it comes to like Punisher, it's even like smaller where he's like, well, we're gonna do like a movie with him. We're not gonna go full fledged. Like I guess you don't need a big series for him. Um, but it just feels like these characters specifically are like such a big separation from like the bigger MCU type stuff that you wish that they were kind of brought in a little bit more.
I understand probably from Disney's perspective, they wouldn't want to throw a Punisher movie out in theaters the same summer they have like
Fantastic
yay
Four.
family adventure,
Yeah,
yeah, Fantastic Four kind of vibe. So I mean, throwing it on Disney Plus that satisfies the hardcore fans, and you don't have to worry about ticket sales flopping because of families and
I'd almost like to kind of see them do like these individual shows for some of these characters, like the Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and then build it up to a movie, and it be like a kind of its own like Avengers style Defenders movie.
Yeah, for
And
like
if they
the
want to
smaller
connect it to
characters.
the bigger, plot, they can. Even if they can bring in Spider-Man for the movie for the Defenders or something, they could work that in somehow. But
I feel like once and I agree. Like I want the same thing, and then you have like the other side of where people's like, why do I gotta watch 50,000 things just to get to
yeah,
this point? You're gonna have those people that not necessarily like fake fans, but I guess they just don't want to do like the homework version of it, and they just want to know everything like right then and there. It's yeah.
Me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This dude might not even watch the series.
I don't even know what's going on. No, I think especially for like not smaller characters, but characters that typically have like smaller stakes. I think especially like shows for them do like offer a lot more as opposed to like something like you would get in like a Wanda and Vision show, but I mean, still a good show nonetheless, and Loki as well, but just like if you were to get like a Punisher show or like a good long like special, and then same with Born Again. I mean, I saw a thing where that's the highest um the most watched Disney Plus series for this year. So, I mean, the demand's there. And I agree. Like, it'd be cool for them to be able to work on those characters that don't get as much love and be able to make a series or a movie where all of them can kind of coincide together. It's honestly surprising that they've been so adamant on making the Blade movie, keeping it as a movie and not just doing it as a series, because arguably a series would be easier, or just doing it kind of as like a special that they're doing for the Punisher, supposedly. I mean, it's just like, how can you have been running in such a brick wall with a character like Blade? Like, it should just be such a layup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I would assume I think we talked about it before. Is I feel like one big hiccup has to be keeping the realism to the MCU universe and the rules of it, and making it feel like it makes sense
Yeah.
that this vampire hunter's been killing vampires this entire time,
Yeah,
but we never had the issue of vampires. But if you keep it to like a street level, like maybe like you were saying, like a Disney Plus special, maybe you could just have it to where yeah, there's vampires, but they're super obscure.
Yeah, maybe like he's
They're
overseas or something like that, like
yeah,
at the end of Blade, like he's like in like what, like Russia or something like that.
you know, have it low stakes to where it doesn't involve the greater universe. Like that should be fun and
they can,
easy.
they can even use like Dracula because I know like he's a character in Marvel. They could like
yeah,
start feeding him into the story somehow if they wanted to.
yeah. Because as soon
Maybe
as you,
Blade can bounce on it.
Yeah.
'cause yeah, because you're right. Because this, if you keep it low enough, it'll work. But then, like as soon as you're going to introduce Blade, you're going to have to start introducing the vampires, Dracula, of course, because he's just going to be like the head of it, like he always is in like the comics. I mean, now, I mean, you kind of like tapped into it with Wolf by Night. You got those characters in it now, so you have to kind of like touch up more on like the paranormal side of everything, and it's definitely harder because you have this main line of stuff that is never been touched on outside of like the Blade back in the day. That's not even like connected anymore. It's I feel like it's so much harder to like just throw it in now, and I do think it would work out if they would just kind of do like what you're saying, like a smaller scale thing, maybe somewhere other than New York. Um, it just feels like it could be such an easy movie, but there's also like so much background noise that comes along with it that it's hard to like disperse it in a right way.
Yeah, definitely. That's, one of the big drawbacks to having this whole interconnected universe, and they're so adamant about keeping it interconnected. Like, I mean, granted, DC, they kind of had to do this out of pure necessity just because their whole universe has been so messy. But the fact that they do have like the Elseworld tales like they do with Matt Reeves and what they had with like the Suicide Squads and Harley Quinn's films. I mean, it's just nice when there's stories that are just able to be told and you're not, having to cover all your bases like you would. Because, I mean, what, like, about to be 20 years into the franchise, and yeah, where there's been no talk about vampires really at all. It's like, I don't know. It just sucks that they can't just, do something more kind of like creative and just be like, you know what? Marvel Knights, have something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Blade could do well as an animated
Oh yeah.
like project,
hmm
or maybe if they did a period piece and maybe take him out of like the present MCU timeline,
hmm
maybe throw him back into the 80s or 90s, which I know the original Blade trilogy started in the 90s, but
hmm
you
I
know,
mean,
you
even
could
if you could throw him back even further, yeah, I mean, just like some kind of period piece with him would actually be
I
really cool.
I think in the comics the vampires started with the Nazis, so they could do something in the 1940s if they wanted to.
That would
hmm
make more sense too, because then like they could give that could be the reason why you don't see many vampires in the future type stuff, because maybe Blade has went through so many of them, or like has achieved something where there's such a lower rate of vampires that are actually around like the world or whatnot. They're not so deep into New York or wherever you want to be. Um, I don't know. He achieved his goal almost to like making it bare minimal of any vampires around, and I don't know. It's just like, man, there's so much cool shit with Blade, and it sucks that they're having such a hard time with that. Um, like with him and Moon Knight, and I'd love to see Ghost Rider, a newer Ghost Rider finally come.
Crazy, there's never been really any, news to come off the ground about Ghost Rider.
It's just been like the same stuff over the years. It's like fucking who was it?
It's like Norman Reedus,
Yeah.
no. Nicolas Cage, no. Norman Reedus, no. It's just, revolving door of those two guys.
Yeah, and it's such an easy story too. It's a dude that just fucking makes a pact with the devil. I mean, it's just like you don't have to go super supernatural with it. Just like make it a basic. He's hunting some demon type shit. Yeah, I mean, throw him into the MCU and just have him like in the corner someplace. I don't know.
For as goofy as the 2007 movie was, I mean, it still, it's got its moments where it goes pretty hard. Kevin, Mr. Feige, if you want to steal our idea on putting Blade back in time, give us all cameos.
Better yet, just let us write, direct, and just everything.
Be a faster
Honestly,
process.
at this rate, I mean, they're not making much progress. So
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably do something.
I
Because
got a
I
motorcycle we can use.
I really didn't think about putting it back in time, but I mean that would just, I mean, again, it's just a layup. It's right there.
Yeah, they had to connect every single dot that's spanned 20 years to make sure that everything's in order, and every director's probably like, "Fuck this, like, not gonna work."
Yeah.
just have him show up and say it's Blade in time,
It's like,
and we're gonna clap.
give it to
So,
Sony. Fuck it, give it to Sony.
Yeah, give it to Sony.
Give it to
So
fucking
they'll
Sony.
get it done.
God,
Madam
have it
Ghost Rider.
Madam Ghost
Ooh,
Rider. Jesus.
got something she can ride.
What is like the next one's Thunderbolts, right?
Thunderbolts, and then you have Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Are we
You know
seeing
what?
Thunderbolts in theaters? Is that a theater watch? Because anytime I see a preview for it, I'm just like,
You watched the A24 themed trailer
yep.
that
I saw
Marvel
the
put up?
clips of it. That's pretty cool, yeah.
Michaela actually showed it to me, and I was like, I had zero interest in this movie, and now I went from a 0 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10, at least
I
for
mean,
vibes.
they do a better job of advertising their films than A24 does. A24 only puts like their fucking movies in like 100 theaters over the country. But yeah, it had like what Tyler, it had like fucking cinematographer from like Minari and like,
That
just
mentions Hereditary.
yeah, like it's really cool actually how they done that little advertisement for it.
I would probably end up going to see it in theaters, but I'm not like as excited as I am for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it like the trailer definitely piqued my interest. I like how he just kind of like waves over them and they turn into fucking shadows. Like it's just you're like, how the hell is Bucky gonna face something like this or any other of these bozos? And then
I think it'll be more like a Hulk situation where they know they can't beat him, but they can just kind of like talk him down.
another talking.
That'll be the whole thing.
Sun's getting low, buddy. You gotta come down from the sky, float down here.
How much pussy do you think it would take for the Hulk to like chill out?
Not a lot.
Oh,
Not a lot. Show him one titty, he's down.
me too.
Yeah, pretty
Who are
minimal.
who are they supposed to be even fighting in Thunderbolts?
The
Century
Century.
that they like what teased years and years and years ago.
He's like a Superman level kind of like anti-hero, but he has this really like dark side to him that like takes over. So
So
he kind of bounces back and forth between light and dark.
my first experience with Century was the comic World War Hulk, and the only person that could defeat Hulk was Century. So he's like full on invading New York, and he's like planning to like destroy the world. And they send Sentry to take him down, and he successfully does it. And that was if nobody's read that comic, that is like a good. I feel like I don't know any other comic that has Sentry in it really. I feel like that would be a good one to read just to kind of see his power level. Dude's well, it's MCU also, so they could make him like watered down uh, compared to that. So, but that was my first experience, and I was like, "Whoa!" Basically, just like Superman.
Would be cool to see more like animated projects, kind of like talking on how Blade could do that, like how they done the Hulk versus like Wolverine and Hulk versus Thor, little animated shorts back in the day. I say shorts, but they were like probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And then
Yeah,
I think they actually like had some like blood and stuff in it.
they used to do the. They had 2 movies of the Ultimates. That was pretty good as well. Um, yeah, like that's where DC comes in strong with animation. They go
Mhm.
full on with it, and people most of the time really enjoy them compared to like the real life movies. They seem like they go further than Marvel does. But then it's like the opposite for Marvel, where they are strong with real life movies and they go further. So Superman,
Did you all see the Walmart exclusive Batman Year One 2-pack that they
yes,
announced?
yes, and it's cool, but I am so sick of reuses with McFarlane. They want to release the same fucking which the Batman look cool, and I'm not complaining because it does look like a little bit upgraded compared to other ones, but they have like a set of 10 Batmans down the fucking pipe that they just want to like have the same body on it, and some they have the same Hush body. It's like motherfucker, please, please.
Have we had a confirmation yet on if McFarlane's still going to be making figures now with the Mattel
Oh
license agreement?
man, I saw a video where he was talking as if they're still going to have some kind of working relationship, but I don't know what that entirely is going to consist of. Because, I mean, like, he's got, like, I don't know. It just kind of seemed like the way he was explaining it that they're diverting, but he's still going to have some stakes in DC figures. But I don't know. He could have been talking out of his ass, but just the way he was saying it, it's just that they weren't completely out, but that Hasbro's going to be able to do, you know,
It I could almost like the way that I could see them doing it is Mattel gets like the figures, and then um McFarlane does like statues and stuff going forward because they keep doing more statues. But here recently, it seems like they're just like throwing everything at the wall that they have like down the pipe of every Batman, every 2-pack. They're kind of just like shoving it out the fucking door because there has been so many posts of like figures that have not even like had a preview. People are just finding them in stores and whatnot, and it's just crazy how much they hash out. And lately, it feels like it's more than ever. Like today, for instance, like there was like a cowboy Batman. There's the Justice League Batman versus Superman Alfred's coming. What else? They have the 2-pack with Jim Gordon and Batman from year one. They have a Grim Knight Batman and Killer Croc 2-pack coming. They have a the final battle of Riddler from I think Batman Forever or what? Not Forever. I
um,
forget. Jim Carrey one.
I thought that was forever.
Is it? It might be. And then they got like fucking 1 million Batman. They got Justice Lord's Batman. It's like the Two-Face, dude. It's like, and there's 3 or 4 Supermans that are coming too. It's just like if their license to make figures isn't ending, then they're just like overdriving it right now for some reason.
Well, I think he said they got another year or something of the sorts on their contract, but yeah, no, I think you might be right. I mean, yeah, maybe they just do like those like the statues that they do. And I mean, those are good, but like you said, I mean, just the reuses and like he just spams fucking Batman. Yeah, it's just like
It's
I don't know.
yeah. There's a lot of Batman coming right now. A lot of Batman, and I know they touched up on like the Flash and Superman and whatnot, but there's like 3 Batmans of the same mold, which it's fine because it's from like the Golden Age comics where it's like a rainbow Batman. Like there's 3 of them coming, so it's a lot. It's a lot. But I when I was at Inner Geek, I saw the old Mattel figures. Like I bought a couple when I was little, and they were pretty good back in the day. That's what I grew up, getting was like the Mattel comic. Looks like straight up the comics. I was seeing some of them at Inner Geek, and the ones that they had, I was like, "That's actually really cool." Like, I forgot the one I looked at, but I think it was actually a vampire Batman, and I thought that one was actually really, really cool, like the mold and everything. Mattel, for what it is or what it used to be, yeah, it's gonna look dated, and I see a lot of people that post on Instagram like comparisons of McFarlane and then Mattel that's from like 2011. It's like, what do you expect? I mean, it's fucking old as shit. Like you can't compare that from today to then. It makes no sense. Even from back in the day, they look decent. They're not terrible for the time period.
What Mattel can do right now with like their wrestling figures, like I mean, is super impressive. Just as far as like the soft goods you get, the different accessories and what have you, face scans and everything. I mean, the technology they got down pat art is just like really next level, I feel like. And they got good articulation on a lot of figures and what have you. I mean, I think it's going to be really cool and really promising as to what we can see. And, some of those McFarlane head sculpts, dude, are fucking rough. The side eyes, so
Yep.
bad.
I'm like 50-50 on this transition because I am excited to hopefully be able to collect more DC figures to go with my Marvel Legends, since the Mattel ones will be in the same scale. It won't be 7-inch. However, I am worried that they're going to have the same business practice as the WWE figures, where what the WWE figures have like the basics that like have no butterfly joints,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like basically not statues, but you don't get much to it. And then there's what like deluxe figures that'll come with like soft goods, and then you have like the elites, right, that have like the butterfly joints and like the thousands of accessories.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
So I'm afraid that I could see Mattel doing that, where we'll get different levels of the DC figures depending on the articulation, which I mean I'd understand, but also at the same time that's kind of like McFarlane pumping out the same Batman figure 5 times, but having a different head sculpt on it.
Yeah. It's got its gives and takes. We'll just have to see where it goes, because doesn't that start in like 2026? Does it? I keep forgetting this next year now.
Yeah. We're 3 months in, brother. We're 3 months in. It's going quick.
Yeah, it says apparently starting in 2026 at some point, so we shall see.
We're going to have to
But
start over getting the same main characters in the first wave.
I think Mr. McFarlane is quite butthurt.
I mean, like, he has hit or misses. Like, I don't know. And what really kills me is that you have the base figure, you have a like a chase of that figure that sometimes it's just literally a head sculpt. And then you'll have figures that are gold label that are usually like Walmart exclusive or Target exclusive. And then now he is literally having another one. It is a red chase. It's a red fucking sticker. It's like,
This
brother,
motherfucker loves money.
yes, the amount of toys that he pushes out, I swear to God, dude. And the amount of, oh yeah, and I'm forgetting the ones that are in the big plastic boxes. So like, what was crazy, and I didn't understand this at all, is when I got
Page punchers.
the page punchers. Yes,
Yeah.
I got the Batman, the Damian, I'm having like a big stroke. The Dick Grayson Batman, because it was from a line that of comics that I read growing up that I really liked, where Dick Grayson took over the Batman mantle, and it was Damian Wayne as Robin, but they were like two separate versions. So you had the basic release of Dick Grayson, which you can get like a gray or blue suit, depending on like what you want chase wise. But then you would have the page puncher Robin that came in 2 chases. So it's like, why is he a whole different like section and a little bit more detailed than like the actual bat? I don't understand it. That's like what he's doing now. He has like 15,000 variations and different like price points of like basic figures to like chases to now extreme chases to fucking page punchers. It's so hard to like collect any of these because you're like, well, where the fuck am I going to find this shit? Like at GameStop, you'll find them, Walmart's, you'll find them, but it's just like such random. It's a random process, and then that red variant or whatever they call it. I mean, I guarantee I'll never fucking see that shit.
And I've seen interviews where he talks about, just the lack of like female characters that he makes. He was like, whenever I was a kid, I didn't want to play with girl figures. I wanted to play with boy figures.
Yeah, fuck women.
Swear to God, there was an interview where he talked about that shit. So,
You think I want a Wonder Woman in my hand? But I look like a pussy.
hey, because like some Todd McFarlane hate on YouTube is kind of funny every now and then. Just because like his Batman figures, like the Batman line, he absolutely fucking botched. Like it's just crazy how shitty those were. But
Yeah, I mean, like the ones that are coming out lately, they seem better detailed, but there's a lot of like reuse in some of them that drive me nuts because like I hate seeing people on the comments that get super excited. Like for example, it's the Batman versus Superman Alfred, but you motherfuckers are getting so excited you can make this yourself because it's literally the Dark Knight Joker body, dude. It's the pants, it's the fucking shirt, it's everything but a head sculpt that is different. You fucking clowns. I hate it when I see that shit because you guys get so hyped up for reuse and it's insane. Like reuse to the fucking motherfucking 100%. It's crazy. Bugs the hell out of me. Paint it yourself, fucker. Jesus.
So he's just gonna have to be shelling out the Spawn figures before long. It
That's
seems.
Spawn, man. That's another line that he like neglects and puts behind Kickstarters. It's insane. You want medieval Spawn? I'm gonna kickstart that motherfucker so you can give me so much more money, even though I could hash out like 20,000 fucking Batmans. Why are we doing this? You could fucking have it like out next month if you wanted to.
Oh, and he tried to do like the NFTs, like he tried to do like digital like figures and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah,
Stupid.
He's kind of cringe.
It's like when NFT that whole situation is so stupid. It's like who the fuck's doing this? There's no value in this. Just selling me a 3D model of your design, asshole.
Todd, come on here so we can tell you how cringe you are.
Yeah, now think about it. The way you're doing shit, it's so fucking stupid, dude. Stop reusing so fucking much and making people pay $30 a fucking figure for the same damn figure over and over. God, nobody gives a fuck about Alfred. It's literally Joker, you dickwad. End of fucking rant. This pissed me off.
Love some Todd McFarlane discourse. You
Yeah.
say as you're repping his Spider-Man illustration.
You know what? Fuck you, bro.
Wait, you
Nah,
know what? Good illustrator though. Good illustrator.
Fucking, it's a cool design that gets over fucking done, brother.
I tried to read his I still need to read it again, but his Spider-Man run, everyone just like had so many lines on their faces, like everybody was just like he just like went crazy on the lines. Everyone looks like at least like over the age of 65 with how many lines are on their face.
Yeah, I don't think I really enjoyed it like when I read it as much as like other runs. And now that I like talked all that shit and I'm like wearing his Spider-Man, I feel like such a clown now. Like
I'm
Hey.
gonna get the Marvel Legends Maximum Spider-Man
that too.
that is
Yeah.
heavily inspired.
God damn it. I'm sorry, Todd. I didn't mean it.
Not the Todd father.
Fuck. I was out of line. I was out of line. You put me back in. You put me back in line real quick.
Fuck. So in the way of stuff I've watched since the last time we had spoke, couple things. Watched Mundane. Everyone go watch that if you haven't. What did you all think of the Mundane? I wasn't planning on asking, but since we're here, what did you all think? It fucking sucked.
Literally how I feel driving through Canal City anytime I have to go back home. Just, man, I hate this place.
Depression. Oh yeah, I really liked it. I like the lighting and like the God, I'm kind of lightheaded now because I laughed so hard about fucking just picturing I'm talking shit the whole time, and then you're like, "Well, you're wearing his Spider-Man actually," and then Tyler pitches in like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy his Spider-Man. That's a maximum line." So I'm like, "Motherfucker has got us all by a goddamn chokehold." Like, so it makes me feel like such a bitch, but it's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny. Even talking shit, he's like, you're wearing it and you're buying the fucking $50 Spider-Man, you cuck. But now I'm lightheaded. No, I did like it, and I like the creativity behind it and the lighting behind it.
You're over about 200 views now, aren't you?
I am. Yes. Wish I could get more motherfuckers to log it on the Letterboxd. But, you know, if you haven't watched it,
Drop the link to the Letterboxd.
if you haven't watched it, link and Letterboxd will be in the description.
It's a good watch.
Yep. Thank you all for watching.
And I did like going back and watching the horror one too. That one I really liked as well, because I do remember originally watching it, and then after I watched Mundane, I watched it again, and it definitely reminds me of like old school horror, but obviously to like a very shorter ordeal, like the little mystical kind of like chimes that's in it. I really like.
Yeah, we fucking just the spontaneity of that one is just kind of something to marvel at, just how, like, because now we're just like so anal about stuff. We just kind of were throwing stuff together for that, and it just worked out. It's not perfect by any means. It's pretty rough, but I mean, I like it for what it is. I mean, just what we were able to do with it and stuff. So Mundane, I watched that, premiered in my living room. I watched a film that's on Peacock that I would recommend and like to tell everybody about. Audition, from 1999. It is a Japanese horror film? Yes, it is Japanese. It is a Japanese horror film. Horror loosely. It's kind of like, I would say about 50% of the movie is kind of like a mystery that you get. And then the rest of it is just like some horrific like body horror that you can get, and it's got the good like kind of Japanese like psychological kind of horror aspects. And it's got really good performances from many of people. One of the characters in it actually had played in The Wailing, which is another really good foreign horror film. So, Audition, I gave it 4 stars. I'd recommend everybody to check it out. Then I watched another film. This is by Wong Kar-wai, which he's a pretty famous Chinese director. Fallen Angels is the title of it. I watched it on HBO Max. It was pretty good. It was visually really interesting. Had a lot of cool parts in it. Kind of hard to follow. It's about a hitman, and it's got a bunch of kind of depravity in it. So pretty cool. I watched Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai. That's directed by Jim Jarmusch. It stars Forrest Whitaker, and it's scored by RZA from Wu-Tang, and it's just got like a super cool vibe just as far as like kind of like the samurai, and you got Forrest Whitaker who's a hitman, and it's just got a really cool score to it. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I also watched it on HBO. A big hitter I'd watched was The Substance. I'd watched it after the Oscars, and holy shit, like well, like whenever I saw it, I was like dying to tell you all about it because it just like hit just so fucking hard. It's probably one of the first films in a long time from when I watched it. I was actually like getting sick in my tummy. I was like, I am glad I am not eating. Like, definitely one of those ones to make you lose your appetite. Like, it is just, And it's just the way they shoot a man eating like a shrimp. Like it's just so disgusting. It is just, what they were able to do. Insane, very good. Would recommend to anybody. I had to rent it, but I gave it a 4.5. Uh, then Daredevil, of course. I rewatched Companion, which was a pretty good one. I watched The Sadness, which is on Shudder, and all you fuckers need to watch at some point. Um, Avery especially. I would like to hear your thoughts on it. It is a Chinese horror film, and it's kind of like a zombie film in a way, but it's kind of more or less like it's a disease that's infecting everybody, and they can still speak and stuff. That's like the big thing is like they're not necessarily zombies. They just turn into like the biggest fucking pieces of shit imaginable. Like fucking anybody that saying about watching it, just fucking like warning, warning, warning. A lot of like crazy sexual violence going on in this. Nothing too wild, but pretty fucking wild. So, and it's weird. It's directed by an American dude, but it is a Chinese film. So actually, a Canadian director. But irregardless, it is very cool and fucking lovely to look at. Very, very nasty. Very kind of substance like, just icky. And then I watched the Sleepover. Hayden put that one on, and like I said, it's got young Brie Larson, young Evan Peters, got Steve Carell, got Scout Taylor Compton, and that was a good palate cleanser, especially after watching all this fucked shit. It was just like the perfect 2000s romp. And then I watched a couple documentaries, and then I watched No Country for Old Men yesterday, and holy shit, that is just one of the best films of all time. I fucking love that. So that's what I've watched, and again, any of those I would recommend. Very solid.
I was very
You're a busy
close.
boy.
Yeah, very busy. Very fucking busy. I was very close to watching The Sadness because you told me about it or told us about it, and the way you were talking about it piqued my interest, and because I had the shutter up and I was looking at it, but I didn't press it because I was like, I don't want to fuck up any like situation that like if he's still watching it, like I just fucking
Oh, word, yeah.
yeah. So I skipped it for now, but I do want to watch it, and I'm kind of jealous that you watched The Substance because I've been putting that on like the back burner for such a long time for whatever
Man, it's
reason.
so good.
Um, and like the amount of people that say it is good, it makes me want to watch it. But I feel like I'm one of those people that the more people talk up things, the more I lose interest for whatever reason. It's such a weird uh dynamic, I guess. I'm like, oh, it's super popular. I'm never gonna watch that because it's killing my hype for it for whatever reason.
I'm the same way, but genuinely, the fact that it was nominated for Best Picture, like that is like the closest horror you'll get, from whenever the last one was, but they got nominated. But holy shit, like just the practical effects. Like I won't say that they're on like I mean they're kind of close to like the Thing level as just far as like how extreme and balls to the wall they were going with the practical effects. I mean, it is absolutely insane.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that one and The Saddening.
Yeah, bro, the sadness fucking just like absolutely fucking vile. Like watch that whenever you can just stay locked into it because it is a fucking journey just watching that. It is so rotten to the core, bro.
You boys watch anything other than each other?
I watched 2 movies. I watched Companion, which Brandon talked about, which was decent. There were some tropes I didn't like about it, but overall it was still a good movie. And then I watched a movie called Elevation that has Anthony Mackie in it, which is pretty much just like A Quiet Place, but just not as good.
Hmm.
So I think I gave it a
that one.
I gave it a 2-star, and then I gave Companion a 3-star. So
I watched Dinner in America. I don't remember if that was before we last recorded or not. The OG SpongeBob movie.
Banger.
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, which is some Aubrey Plaza gold, even though it's everyone is complete ass in this movie, though. Even she is, but it still got some good moments. Finally got around to watching Hush. I talked to Brandon a little bit before we recorded about Hush. Definitely a good modern home invasion slasher movie by Mike Flanagan.
Have you never watched that? I swear you have.
Had you watched it before?
I swear I thought you were the one that put me onto it. I feel like I've watched it or
I'm the
maybe.
last person on earth to watch it.
Who
This
the
is
fuck?
canon.
I don't know then. I swear back whenever that came out, like you were talking about it, or somebody else was. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched it.
Probably somebody sent something in the chat about it since it's out of Netflix purgatory.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think when it was like, on Netflix originally, I watched it or whatever, but it's been a while.
And I watched Jawbreaker, which was a nice, wacky early 2000s vibe movie. So, yeah, not too much, but solid.
I don't think I've watched anything. Like, I don't remember anything other than Daredevil Born Again.
He doesn't fucking remember Mundane.
Mundane. Well, yeah, I did watch Mundane. I don't know what I've watched, to be honest, because nothing's coming to mind that, like,
Brother doesn't keep up with the Letterboxd.
Yeah, everybody bully him. Anybody
Listen.
watching, bully him in Letterboxd.
There's
Or bully
a-
him in the comments. Todd, if you're watching.
Todd's like, yeah, say it again with my fucking shit on your back, pussy.
Yeah, say it again there, pal.
I know you pre-ordered that Maximum.
You cuck.
Fuck. I'm sorry, Todd. I'm sorry. No, I don't really think I've watched anything other than like Daredevil here recently. A lot of YouTube bullshit and like here and there, like whenever the kids are watching like the Sonic movies, I've been like kind of like getting interested in it because Jim Carrey is just funny.
They're pretty good movies, not gonna lie.
Yeah, like the little bit I've watched while because they love it. They're really into Sonic right now. Like Alex has like a fucking big ass Sonic toy that talks and everything. But other than that, I don't really think I've watched anything other than Daredevil, Mundane. I've been really slacking lately. I feel like it's like literally and plus, I mean, to be honest, I have a excuse. I've been deathly fucking sick for the last dude, it was horrible going to work those like couple days because like I called off once and I left early 2 days, and at one point I feel like I was working and I took cough medicine. It was like Dayquil, and I felt like I was loopy because I was like walking around trying to get stuff done, and I felt like I kept having a fever nonstop. And then at one point, I think it was like the third day when I was at work, I swear to God, everything was kind of like slower. Like it was just like I don't know if I'm tripping or just like about to die, but I feel like everything I'm doing is just like in slow motion. And it was just that was horrible. So I'm finally feeling better. And then now the kids are like a little sick and the wife's sick a little bit.
Bro, everyone's sick.
Yeah.
I'm healthy.
Say it again. I'll spit in your mouth, brother.
Me
Oh,
next,
hell.
me next, me next.
Fuck.
Yo, so how much would it take for me to spit in your guys' mouths?
Free.
Free? You dirty bitch.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe that.
I'll pay you.
What if I haven't scraped my tongue in like 2 days?
Honestly, you can probably just buy me like a monster and I'll be fine.
You just
Really?
like dip your tongue in it and just hand it to
Yeah.
him.
Mm.
Super hard now.
I'd probably let
Yeah.
Tyler spit in my mouth for like $40.
I mean, I'll take it, but I'll do it for free.
I like how at one point we were like, yeah, let's do a segment of like hard hitting questions, and then Brandon's bringing it back with how much do I got to pay you to spit in your mouth?
Well, again, I'm just trying to think of some questions. Does anybody else have any ideas?
um,
How much would it take for you to eat my ass?
oh, that's like probably.
He said, "Oh."
Washed or unwashed?
Unwashed. I've been sweating.
Lower.
Dude, me when I was bedridden for 2 days and just was like on death's door and I was just sweating.
God.
$20.
Sour, pungent.
Oh Lord. Twirl them hairs, brother, and wring it out.
It's like the jungle down there. You all ever seen Predator?
Speaking of which,
You
I
guys,
got something hiding in there.
you guys know the Predator has a tongue?
Does he?
Yeah, dude. Like, I think it was Predator 2. I think it was like 2 years ago I was watching it because like that one's my guilty pleasure for whatever reason. And there's like a moment you see like it's just the whole screen is the Predator's face, and like in his mandibles and in that pussy of a mouth it is a tongue that's like forked that moves. Yeah.
do I want to dive into our pickups?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
first you need a. How much would it take for you to eat my sweaty ass?
Free.
I don't believe you.
I plead the fifth.
I eat anything.
Okay.
Eat anything.
I eat pineapple on pizza.
That's all you had to say.
Listen.
Keeping it with the blue theme
Ooh.
and adding it to my never-ending list of haven't read, but I will read this at some point.
It's always like a 50-50, it seems like, with DC, if they want to make art of Nightwing that's like super gay end or like super like brutish, and it's like never in between.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I've heard good things about this.
I'm not the biggest Nightwing fan, but I do like him in the comics. If you haven't read it, I would recommend Batman and Robin Reborn, with it being like the one I was talking about earlier. Dick Grayson taking on the mantle and Damian Wayne as a sidekick. It's pretty gnarly.
Anybody a note that had done that?
I don't know the artist or
Okay.
yeah. It's the art is really cool though. It's different. It's like
Because I've heard about
yeah.
that, but I wasn't sure if anybody.
It's definitely solid artwork. It's different, circusy, and like they have cool villains in it. Like I can't remember if like his name's Doll Man or like the pig guy. That's like he butchers people. I can't remember.
Oh, is that Professor Pig?
Professor Pig, yeah.
Okay. I was like, I'm either gonna sound really fucking dumb or I'm gonna be right.
He makes like those doll people. Like it's really cool.
He's fucked up. He's like kind of like really close to like a horror kind of deal you can get. That's cool. I didn't know he was in that.
Big question. Did you Itchy Room is playing Wallpaper Engine.
You're welcome.
Did you start Immortal Hulk?
No.
You motherfucker, dude. You motherfucker.
Spank me.
You fucking did that poll for nothing, goddammit.
Fuck.
That's a good
coming
movie.
up. It's coming up. Okay. That's all my pickups.
That was all. Mine's kind of like laid out. I got more, but I on eBay because I've been playing Marvel Rivals a lot. Not as much recently because I haven't been online because I've had a lot of 1 to 10 shifts. I got that Ben Graham, brother. I went on eBay, and I didn't really want the newest one that came out, that was like in the retro card. I like this design of like black and blue, and I found him. He comes with 2 scroll heads, and I think he has a head somewhere. Uh, I got him for 36, so I got lucky. I mean, he doesn't come. He's not like super expensive on eBay, like 40-ish, 46. I got him for 36 with shipping. So I'm actually really happy with this one because he's a bulky little dude and I like his design. Today I had a delivery of the retro card Green Goblin. He comes with like a little Norman Osborn head sculpt. I'll probably like shove him on my ass later. Honestly, a lot. I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. His eyes are kind of buggy. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of looks like a pug that's just kind of, you know.
He does kind of, but I mean, it's fire.
Yeah, like it's just like he's kind of wacky looking, but you wouldn't want to get fucked up by somebody that looks like that, where his eyeballs are about to pop out. I have the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider that came with his bike up on my shelf. So it's like whenever I got the taxes, I was like, there is a lot of Marvel Legends that I had to cancel throughout the year because I was just like, I didn't have the money at the time, and it was before I got a promotion. I'm kind of like in a better position now in life and don't want to kill myself, but I got him, and that was pretty cool. And you sold yours, didn't you, Tyler?
Yeah, I never took it out of the box.
It's pretty cool, honestly. I like it more than the other re-release, or not re-release, the release of Ghost Rider, the Johnny Blaze. And then I got like a 2-pack of Wolverine and Spider-Man that are in Fantastic Four costumes. It's just like I got it because it was on sale on Amazon, and it's okay. It's not like the best fucking thing in the world. It's just something to put on the shelf. This one I was very happy with because it's Hulk's son, and I've been wanting him for like the longest time. Scar, he's a big emo boy, and this is a lot more metal than I thought he was going to be, honestly, because he's just like hair in the face. But in the comics, he's really cool.
Is that the one from She-Hulk?
Yes, it's what She-Hulk wants to be. Those fuckers butchered my boy and gave him like a weird ass cut and made him look like.
It was a fair adaptation of the property.
Yeah, I mean, like he's there. Like I just don't understand why he's there. You know, like it just makes no sense. He's like, "Here's my son," and everybody's like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" Like nobody fucking knows. It makes sense if he's World War Hulk and they shot him off, and there's a reason. You know,
Is that based off of like a specific like appearance of him or anything like
yeah,
that?
just him from the comics. That's
Okay.
just basically how he looks in there. He's like,
Hmm.
this is like his Hulk form, and in the comic, he's like basically just kind of like a little, not like a little boy, but like he's just like a teenager. He can, go up and down from, but he most of the time stays in like this big Hulk form. And then it comes like with a head sculpt that makes him look even more emo that I don't really fuck with that much. It's cool, but it's like with the wind and everything, it's like I don't know, weird poses. I think that's basically it. Other than like I went to Inner Geek because I got jealous that Tyler and Chad went to Inner Geek, and I was like, it's been years, and talked the wife into going, and I bought the old like 2000s Daredevil and the 2000s Bullseye. They were right next to each other. The Daredevil had a fucked up box, and the Bullseye was just like giving me creepy vibes. But I bought both of them. I think they had the Ben Affleck Daredevil too. I might be wrong about that, but I feel like he was there.
Nice.
But there was like no articulation there. But I got those two, and it's cool because like that base, like I was showing you guys before, and to the viewer, it has like a hole in the back of it that has like a skinnier slot that slides up, so you can literally just go up to your wall and put it on a nail, and it'll slide down and just stay there. And I forgot about that when I was a kid because I had them when I was a kid, and I had like a whole bunch of the Marvel Legends from the 2000s. So like looking back at the pictures, I'm like, oh, these are super cool, but that kind of shattered a little bit whenever I took him out of the box, and he's kind of like floppy a little bit, not like super floppy, but like you can feel the age in him, and our articulation is like, eh. The Bullseye, was kind of shitty because I took him out of the box and I was like, this articulation is god awful. Where he's been like in that pose forever, and you could definitely feel it when he comes out. But that's my pickups. Which a decent haul over the last little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have kept my Ghost Rider, but I just didn't have the space.
I don't have his motorcycle out. As cool as it is, I don't have it out because I just don't. I need a bookshelf and I need to properly put my figures on there because I have been lazy. I told myself when I got taxes I would get a bookshelf, but I still haven't. And I just have him up there with like Grey Hulk and Spider-Man and Wolverine. But he's always on sale, it seems like, on Amazon for like 46, I think.
Bust out
I
them
did.
goods, Tyler.
Hmm.
Said bust out them goods.
What's that?
During your all sick time, I got one Black Series that I'm not going to take out of the cabinet because I know it's going to be an avalanche if I do.
Mhm.
But I picked up the Scout Trooper on the speeder bike, the original 2013 or 14 release of that retro for 35, and that thing minimum is like 50.
Hell yeah.
So usually it sells for a lot more than that, but that's like about the lowest I've seen on like bids. So that was super cool to grab. But yeah, if I picked it up now, it would tip over. Came in the mail yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Got Prince Caesar from Shadows of the Empire. I haven't taken it out of the box yet because I really don't know where I'm going to put him since I don't have any room really in my Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi area. And also, I kind of want to have Dash Rendar to put next to him, so I might just wait for Dash to come out before I put Prince on the shelf.
Gonna have to get a whole new shelf.
But I recently got into the physical media game, but the VHS player I did buy was a piece of crap, and I literally had to disassemble it to get a tape out. So I'm playerless at the moment, but I went thrifting over the weekend and got the Blair Witch Project and
Scary as
almost
hell.
pristine condition almost.
Does look very sleek.
Original Carrie.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
the box is kind of beat, but it's Carrie.
He has a character.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
And Temple of Doom.
Come.
Ooh.
Am mad at the sticker, of course, being right on the front.
I might. I got my VHS one in the closet. I might just ship it out to you. You got better use than I do now.
I mean, I did order a new one, but we'll see if it actually works like the description says it does. But I mean, if it doesn't,
Wonder
I'll
if a
gladly
hairdryer. I wonder if a hairdryer would take the stickers off easy or
Oh,
not.
I'm sure I could warm them up or take something like my X-Acto knife maybe underneath and get like a nice little corner edge to peel off.
The only thing that would like bug the hell out of me is if there was like any residue of the like
Or
sticky
it
shit.
took any, or if it took any of it off, like any of like
Yeah.
the cardboard off.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm worried about. So I don't know if I might just keep the stickers on there. But also got Predator
Dog, that's sick.
Say that name 3
on
times fast.
eBay, which really wasn't one I was like aiming to get on VHS, but I was just looking up random movies, and I'm like, wow, the thing goes for about $40. Oh, an actual like older copy of Halloween goes for like bajillion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Looked up Predator, $8 on average. And I'm like, I can do that.
No fucking suckers.
Dude.
And then probably my prized possession right now.
I love that
Nice.
artwork. Such a sick fucking cover.
Also in pretty good condition, and I know that Texas Chainsaw had a lot of release issues, so I'm not for sure on home media releases how many there were. But this one's from 1988.
I'll have to send you this video. It's like a big, like, comprehensive video breakdown of like the different like home releases they did on it and stuff. It's
I
pretty
remember
interesting.
you sent that to me like a long time ago, and I'd
Yeah,
watched it. But yeah, I'll have
I
to do
also
some
love that
research.
artwork.
I mean, aside from like the corner creasing, like on the top, I mean, that's like super clean and
Her
glossy.
eyes are sick. Yeah.
That needs to be on like a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen this artwork on like anything else really than this.
Yeah.
So definitely, I feel like when I get the player actually working, it's probably gonna be my first watch on it.
Matthew
So
McConaughey.
that's all my stuff. Oh, I got this sweatshirt from Chad.
Yup.
Shit.
Chad's a graphic designer now.
Look, I take orders. She does the process. So the only thing that I picked up was an Inner Geek. I picked up this Sasuke Uchiha Naruto figure. It's like a statue. That's about it.
The Todd McFarlane make it.
Bandai Namco, so I don't know who.
Definitely not Todd. Definitely
Yeah.
not Todd McFarlane.
I was thinking about it though. Oh,
But
that shit.
that's my favorite character in Naruto, and I'm almost done with the series, so it's 600 episodes later.
I love Bandai Namco's Godzillas that they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do Godzillas. Do good Godzillas.
Duka Godzilla.
Yes.
I haven't opened it yet because I'm waiting to see about if the shelf and stuff, if I'm gonna have to move it and everything. So if I have to move it, I don't feel like reorganizing my shelves right now, and then have to redo it. So
Yeah.
it's on hold.
Do you have space at work? At like your
I do.
work desk?
I could take something. I could take it to work. I might have to do that now.
I've got the little Grand Animal Thrawn Funko Pop, like keychain size.
Mhm.
I have him at my work desk.
I have like 3 pops and the Mandalorian like Lego head at my work. So
Dude, if I was gonna buy Chad's desk, I'd be like, fucking gay every time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I get left like homophobic slurs at my workstation, so I don't think that
there's one guy, I'll have to see if I can get a picture of it one day. His whole like cubicle is just Spider-Man.
me.
And he has like Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, 2099, and it's just decorated all in Spider-Man. It's kind of cool actually, but
It's cool. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing it.
He's just gonna
Yeah.
bully you, Avery.
there's a lot of nerds that work at my place. So
I would be bullied, dude. I'd be like, I want to take it to work, and then my girlfriend would be like, shut the fuck up, pussy. You ain't doing that shit. No,
my
but
boss is a big Star Wars fan, so he has a bunch of Star Wars stuff in his cube.
Well, Avery hates the French.
He does.
Yeah, well, you know how they be. And we got a war going on with another community that I won't bring up again.
Oh yeah, that's just dead. That's a dead meme. Let us forget that and hope it never comes back
Yeah,
to bite us.
it's gonna be later on. We're gonna be like a couple years in. You remember what you said back then?
Yeah, like,
Bully.
whenever we're like on our like live show, they're gonna be like, do you care to comment on the dwarf community? I'll be like,
Yeah,
I got pulled the AJ Styles gay community response.
the gay community.
now we're
That
going
is
against them too.
hilarious.
Let's
That
go.
is hilarious. He's like, AJ, how do you feel about your fans in the gay community? The gay community.
I hate that was so real.
It is so real. Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, we accept every community. Listen, all of them.
Even the French
I don't
and
know.
the
Yeah.
British, or not the British, but midgets, dwarves.
The British. How do you mix them up?
I'm thinking of Warwick Davis. And his
Jeez.
bow has legs. Fucking bow has legs.
Jesus Christ,
Okay.
we're here again.
Fuck.
Don't talk shit about my wicket.
Was that the show that he got canned? What was it? That fucking
What was that show?
fuck
Willow.
Yes.
Nobody's
My
gonna watch it
favorite show.
anyway.
Well, if you made it this far, we love you.
Yes, we love everybody, and we're back to rolling every week. We got Sick. We're back. Check out Mundane. It is a project between Brandon and his fellow creative buddy Logan. I almost forgot his name. Not to be a dickhead. I remembered you. I know you, kind of, not really, but we support them and support us on the channel. We need to subscribe more because we are almost at 30. I'm pretty sure. And we're like on the brink of 30. So if you tune in every week, subscribe and like and share. We'll keep doing it.
Again, get your girlfriend's phone, get your parents' phone, go onto YouTube, subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, get your
Create
kids'
fake
phone.
accounts.
Create accounts.
Make
Make one for your dog.
We every Friday, 7 a.m. Unless something bad happens and we fuck up, and then it's
Which
on us.
happens at least once a month.
Yeah, we try not to, but shit happens. We're not like these big time shows. We're like, we haven't missed a show in 10 years. If my left ball hurts, we'll fucking miss a show. I don't know.
Exactly, same.
No, but we appreciate everybody that watches and talks about us. We try to hash it out a lot. I think we've been doing this podcast for like 6 months, maybe more now. Yeah, we've been pretty consistent with like a few hiccups. So it's you'll get it every Friday if we can give it to you. I'm trying to figure out how long we've been going real quick. 7 months. 7 months. Crazy.
Imagine the 1 year.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. It's crazy. We're on this is episode 24. 24 episodes. That's like you almost have 2-hour podcasts every Friday. And we talk about everything pop culture. Geek-wise. I mean, we just showed you our toys, brother. Come play with us.
Oh.
We
make it again to 30 subscribers. I will myself live on camera. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I will paint my walls.
And Tyler's gonna find it.
Red. Yep. Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah. That'll be my first remodeling.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Chad, I
Yep.
love you.
I love you.
Tyler, you're a sweet boy. Avery.
I ain't get anything special. I just gotta fucking.
And then she just ends.
What the fuck? I'll hit it right there. Fuck me.